Hello and welcome. You are watching IndianExpress.com. So Sonia Gandhi will continue as the interim president of the Congress party for 6 months at least. Now this was decided at the CWC meeting that was held on Monday after 23 leaders of the Congress party had sent a letter to Sonia demanding overhaul of the leadership within the party. Our correspondent Manoj CG explains what happened at the CWC meeting on Monday. Was the concerns of these 23 leaders addressed at the meeting? And can the Congress look beyond the Gandhis for a leadership? So, Manoj, if you can tell us what happened at that marathon 7 hour long meeting of CWC, what was the conclusion?
There was no conclusion in that sense. By all accounts, the meeting was very stormy.
Yeah.
The meeting came, as we all know, against the backdrop of this, unprecedented letter written by 23 senior leaders. So there was no agenda as such for the CWC meeting, apart from the fact that there was this question about confusion over leadership and this letter. But the meeting actually turned into a vote of confidence on the leadership of Sonia Gandhi and faith on the Gandhis as such. So the content of the letter, whatever the demands and the concerns that were raised in the letter by these 23 senior leaders, and we will have to name many of them because they are not small, lightweight leaders, from leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha.
Former ministers and all, yeah.
Yes. From leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, to several former ministers like Anand Sharma, Kapil Sibal, Manish Tiwari, some of them sitting MPs. So the expectation was that the contents of the letter, the concerns that they had raised, the demands that they had placed, those issues would be debated, discussed. If the majority of the CWC members, at least 50 of them in total, if they are not agreeable, if they don't agree with the contents of the letter, it could have been trashed. But what happened was that the contents of the letter were not at all discussed. Right from Rahul Gandhi, who initially when he spoke, he questioned the timing of the letter. He said, this letter was written by these leaders at a time when the party was trying to save its government in Rajasthan and his mother was unwell and in hospital. So he questioned the timing of the letter, and as if on cue, the leaders who spoke after him, they all, the question was on why this letter, the timing, the intent, the reason, and not per se the contents of the letter. So by the end of the 7-hour discussion, many of them, like leader of the Congress party in Lok Sabha, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, Ambika Soni, even Mr. Ahmad Patel, many of them attacked the signatories of this letter, questioned their motive. It was told to them that you all have access to the Congress leadership. Congress President Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, you could have raised these issues with them. Why write this letter? And in the end, the CWC passed a resolution endorsing the leadership of Sonia Gandhi, asking her to continue in the post of interim president till an AIC session is convened to elect a new leader. Although it was said in the CWC that the AIC session should be convened at the earliest within 6 months or by the end of the 6th month, the resolution did not put on record a time frame. It only said as and when the circumstances permit. Only question was that when it will happen, and the takeaway for the 23 people, the 23 leaders, was that there was a mention of their letter in the CWC resolution without naming them, certain leaders, and probably or possibly a committee or a team may be appointed to assist the Congress president, as also to look into the issues raised by these leaders.
Okay, but Manoj, there was also some kind of a drama during the CWC meeting because you said that Rahul actually questioned the timing of the letter, but there was also a report that Rahul actually said that the letter was written at the behest of the BJP. Now Kapil Sibal tweeted that, and he actually kind of attacked Rahul Gandhi. And then Ghulam Nabi Azad also offered to resign, saying if the charges of Rahul Gandhi is proven, then I'll resign and all. And then again, after an hour or sometimes, he withdrew his statement. What was that? How come BJP angle cropped up during the meeting?
Initially, there were reports, and leaders were telling us that Rahul Gandhi indeed raised some sort of a doubt or insinuated that this letter came at the behest of the BJP. But soon, immediately after that, Kapil Sibal, as you rightly pointed out, tweeted hitting out at Rahul, questioning, asking how he can raise such a question the loyalty of these leaders. He mentioned about how he has fought for the legal battles for the party.
Yeah.
But you never know whether Mr. Rahul Gandhi actually made that allegation, because within an hour or so, both the sides denied Rahul as having said that. So now we'll have to go by what they are saying. It's a closed door meeting.
Yeah.
But they, at least Ghulam Nabi Azad, during his speech, he made a mention that there were some leaders who made this charge that this letter came at the behest of the BJP. And he said if these charges are proven, he denied it vehemently, and he said if these charges are proven, I will resign from all party posts here and now.
Yeah.
So now both the sides tell the media that, see, Ghulam Nabi Azad did say this. He made a mention of some leader who was outside the CWC as having said that, bringing in the BJP angle. And he did say that, referring to that person, that if that charges are proven, I will resign. So, and Ghulam Nabi Azad also specifically told the Indian Express that Rahul Gandhi did not make that charge. So now we'll have to go by what both the sides say.
Okay. And talking about the meeting that happened at Ghulam Nabi Azad's residence after the CWC meeting, which was attended by, of course, Kapil Sibal, Shashi Tharoor and all. What happened at that meeting? What was the key takeaway from the CWC meeting for all these dissenters, of all the signatories of the letter, and what was decided at the meeting at Ghulam Nabi Azad's house?
Remember, out of the 23 signatories to this letter, only 4 are in the Congress Working Committee. Yeah. That is Mr. Azad, Anand Sharma, Mukul Vasnik and Jitin Prasada. So, of course, we are given to understand that that meeting which happened after the CWC meeting was to brief the co-signatories about the developments, about what happened in the meeting. Yeah. That meeting at Mr. Azad's residence was attended by Manish Tiwari, Shashi Tharoor, Kapil Sibal. They're all co-signatories to this letter. So, but there was some sort of dialing down or easing of tension by the end of the day, because if you look at it, the whole day, the 7-hour-long meetings, so many of the CWC members attacking these 23 leaders. But the Congress leadership, be it Sonia Gandhi or be it Rahul Gandhi, they never stopped any of them. So for 7 hours, the floor was open for all kinds of attacks against these leaders. And these leaders also, the 4 of them who were in the CWC, defended, explained what prompted them to write the letter. But in her closing remarks, Congress President told everyone that let bygone be bygone. Let's move ahead. I'm hurt that this letter was written and it was reported by the media. But let's focus on the task ahead. I have no ill will, or I don't hold any grudge against any of them. So that gave an opportunity for the signatories of the letter, because at least in the last 2 days there is a sense that they're isolated, both in the CWC and in the party. The kind of chorus that was raised in support of the Gandhis, primarily because the debate went in that direction. The debate did not go in the direction of the letter, the contents of the letter, and the concerns that were raised. The debate went into, are you with the Gandhis? Where are your loyalties? Since the debate went in that direction, there was a chorus of support in favor of the Gandhis, both within the party and within the CWC and outside. Yeah. So with Sonia Gandhi making these reconciliatory statements, the sense among the signatories of the letter was that let's wait and watch how we have made our point. Yeah. We have put forth our positions. Now let's wait and watch how the party will respond, how the leadership will respond.
Okay.
Since Mrs. Gandhi has already said that she doesn't hold any ill will against any of these signatories, so let's not escalate as of now.
Okay, but it was also decided that the Congress president, who will be the Congress president, that will be decided by the AICCT next 6 months. But when the meeting started, Sonia Gandhi, of course, offered to resign. But the Congress seems to be divided between the support for Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. We are not seeing anybody beyond Gandhi becoming president of the Congress party. Now, this has been the case for so long. Now, the question is, why can't Congress see beyond Gandhis? Why can't there be a non-Gandhi president of the Congress party? You have been covering Congress for so long. What is your analysis for that?
See, the explanation that Congress leaders give almost all the time, including some of these signatories to the letter, is that there is no leader in the Congress who has a pan-Indian appeal, a recognizable face in the Congress who is recognized across the country, apart from the Gandhis. And appointment of another leader as a Congress president may not be easily accepted by the rank and file and the leaders. There are a large section of leaders who prefer not to work under any other leader. Then again, the presence of the Gandhis, the presence of Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra in active role in the party at a time when there is another leader. Many leaders believe that will undermine the Congress president, whosoever is appointed. Because, the Gandhis have been considered as a final arbiter of issues that crop up in states. So let's say if there is a factional fight that we saw in just earlier this month and last month in Rajasthan. So if there is another individual as the Congress president, even then the possibility of the leaders approaching the Gandhis, for a settlement, for a solution, ignoring the Congress president, whosoever it is. So this whole proposition will undermine the Congress president. So many of the leaders say, if at all a third person, a non-Gandhi, is to be appointed, it should be with the complete backing of the family. The family should make it absolutely clear that here is a person who has been elected as the Congress president. We support them. We detach ourselves from the day-to-day organizational matters. Since Rahul Gandhi has already made it clear that he will be there for the party, so maybe he can go across.
Yeah, but that has been the problem because in the letter that was written, they talked about the complete overall of the party. Now, this party has been losing elections after election. Now, they lost 2014, they lost 2019, and then several state elections also they lost. But if again Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi will become the president, do you think Congress has any future in the coming elections?
No, that's a difficult choice for the party to make.
Yeah.
Because the explanation that the party gives is that, see, we are a political party. In our party, the rank and file, the leaders across the party, we have faith in the Gandhis, in Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi. So give us the freedom to choose our leader. Now, the second part of that question is whether the leader that they choose has an appeal among the public, is he be able to garner votes? So that is a second set of a question. They ask in BJP or in any other party, who elects the leader? The party elects the leader. So why should any outsider be interfering in that process? But the outsider part, of course, comes when that leader leads the party to elections. Remember, even in the letter that's written by these 23 leaders, there was no mention of mention that a non-Gandhi should be appointed party president, or there was no expression of no confidence or lack of confidence in the Gandhis. The letter comes. The framework of the letter is that the leadership as it is now can continue, the individual can continue, but there are certain issues which we need to address because the party has lost 2 Lok Sabha elections and a string of assembly elections. These are the issues which we need to address.
Okay, so finally no conclusion of the meeting. It's like a test match that once again ended in a draw. So let's see what happens in the next 6 months, who becomes the new president of the Congress party. Thanks Manoj, thanks for your input, and thanks viewer for joining us. For more news update, keep logging on to IndianExpress.com.